Want to make something different but don't want to spend a lot of time in the kitchen? That's me every day. But don't worry, I got you. A fantastic chicken tawa fried that just takes 15 minutes. Now buckle up because it's going to finish before it starts. To a tawa, add some oil and about 2 tablespoons of ginger garlic paste and saute for a few minutes. To this, add half kg of boneless chicken thighs along with some salt and cumin seeds and give it a good mix until it starts changing color. Then you can add in your masalas and toss it all together for a few minutes until the raw smell of the masalas goes away. Then add in about 1 large tomato with the seeds removed along with 1 or 2 green chilies. Mix it all together and now cover and cook until the tomatoes are completely mashed. Then add in some coriander leaves, some kasuri methi and big blob of butter and now fry this until the oil starts separating. You can adjust the consistency at this stage and serve it as a side dish or a main dish. Garnish with some coriander leaves and your fantastic chicken tawa fry is ready. Serve it right with the tawa and watch it get licked clean. Juicy and succulent pieces in a fantastic masala. Got all the ingredients, don't you? So try this recipe out and let me know how it goes. For those of you that miss the authentic taste of chicken mandi, this recipe comes as close as to what you would get in Middle Eastern restaurants. Juicy and tender chicken along with a flavorful rice. This is how you can make chicken mandi at home. Dissolve some cardamom powder, clove powder, turmeric powder, pepper and a little bit of saffron in some warm water. This is how you're going to season your chicken. Take about 1 kg of clean and dry chicken and salt it heavily on both sides. Once that's done, you can marinate your chicken along with the spice mix that you just made. Make sure to coat it on both sides and cover the chicken evenly and leave it to marinate overnight for the best flavor. Now the actual cooking process doesn't get easier than this. To some oil, add some whole spices, half a sliced onion along with some chopped garlic and toss it all in until it gets nice and fragrant. Add in about 2 to 3 green chilies along with a crushed chicken stock cube and a measured amount of hot water. Let this come to a boil and taste the water and adjust for salt if needed. Now switch off the flame and add your washed and soaked rice to this. Now cover the pan tightly with 2 layers of aluminum foil to mimic a steamer. Make sure it's sealed really tight and now make some holes at the top to allow the steam to escape and cook the chicken. Add your marinated chicken to the top. Brush it with the leftover spice mix. You can add food coloring at this stage if you want. And now cover the chicken tightly with another layer of aluminum foil. All you gotta make sure during the entire process is that there is a tight seal around the edges of the pan. Cook on high for 3 minutes and then on the lowest flame for about 25 minutes. Now in the meantime, let's get started on the chutney. A spicy, tangy chutney that pairs best with mandis. Tomatoes, green chilies, garlic, salt, pepper, cumin powder, a squeeze of lemon juice, some olive oil and grind this all to a smooth paste. It's as easy as it can get. Back to the rice. Once the 25 minutes are up, let it rest for another 10 minutes and your chicken should be completely done. Now I like to personally remove the chicken, oil the surface a little bit and roast it, but this is completely optional. Now the rice underneath, it's going to be beautifully cooked and soaked in the chicken juices. Check out the description for the exact measurements of each ingredient. Now give the rice a light mix. Top it up with your chicken and of course don't forget to garnish it with some fried raisins and onions. Now for the final touch for the restaurant flavor, light up some charcoal, add a few drops of oil and smoke this and you're done. Add a little bit of mandi chutney and look at how tender and juicy that chicken is. I promise you this recipe is going to shock you at how you were able to make this at home. If you don't believe me, why don't you try this recipe out and let me know how it goes. My mission to expose the recipes reserved for the son-in-law. This is a creamy and delicious mutton korma recipe that you don't want to miss. Start off by adding some whole garam masala to the oil, about 2 thinly sliced onions along with 6 to 7 green chilies and saute this all together until it gets nice and soft, but don't let the onions brown. Then add in your ginger garlic paste, fry for a few seconds and add in about 500 grams of bone-in mutton. Add some salt and let the mutton fry in this oil. This is what gives it the flavor. Add about a handful of coriander and mint if possible along with the oil. And once the mutton changes color, you can add in your spices. Pepper, coriander, cumin and fennel powder. Now mix this all together and let it fry in the oil for a few minutes. Then add in about 2 to 3 tablespoons of yogurt, mix it together. Now add enough water and you can either cook the mutton in a pressure cooker or close the lid and cook for about 40 minutes or until the mutton is soft and tender. In the meantime, get some coconut cashew paste ready. As usual, the exact measurements are in the description below. Don't forget to check it out. Once the mutton is completely cooked through, add in your coconut cashew paste and if you're looking for the next step, there isn't any. Just allow this to boil for a few minutes and your creamy, rich, decadent white mutton korma is done. A fantastic recipe that goes with ghee rice, parotas, idiyappams, you name it. Tender mutton pieces in a rich and mildly spiced korma. Why should son-in-laws have all the fun? So why don't you try this recipe out and let me know how it goes. Chennai wedding style mutton biryani. If you have attended a Tamil Muslim wedding in Chennai, there's no way this taste doesn't haunt you. To oil, add whole garam masala and 2 thinly sliced onions. Saute the onions until they are well browned. Do not skip this step. Then add in a handful of coriander, mint and 2 green chilies and saute for a few minutes. Add 1.5 tablespoons of chili powder directly to the oil and saute just for a few seconds. Add in freshly ground ginger garlic paste and give it all a good mix. Add 2 chopped tomatoes, 1 cup of beaten yogurt and cook it until it all comes together. To this add about 600 grams of mutton, 1 tablespoon of salt and fry the mutton in this oil for about 10 minutes. Then add in 800 ml of water and cover and cook until the mutton is soft and tender. This might take anywhere between 30 to 45 minutes. Add your soaked rice, give it a mix and make sure there's about half an inch of water above the rice. If not, you can add some more. Make sure to taste this water. Once this boils, cover and cook in dum for 15 minutes. I promise you, the aroma of this biryani is going to take you right back to those wedding halls in front of the beautiful banana leaf with a plate full of hot steaming biryani. For this Eid, try this mutton biryani recipe out and let me know how it goes. Super easy, flavorful and aromatic chicken kebabs. If you've never tried making chicken kebabs at home, then this is a beautiful recipe to start with. It comes together so easily in a food processor. Roughly mince about 500 grams of boneless chicken thighs, or you can use pre-minced chicken as well. To this add ginger garlic paste, cumin powder, garam masala, coriander powder, fried onions, whole zira, basin flour, fresh mint, coriander, green chilies, salt and give it a good mince. The exact measurements of each ingredient is given below in the description box. Don't forget to check it out. You can fry a small piece and test it out for seasoning before you start rolling them. Keep it marinated for at least an hour and fry them in oil until well cooked on both sides. You can also roll these kebabs and freeze them and fry them as you need. If available, use a grill pan to get those beautiful grill marks on both sides. Just looks a little better, no? These tasted super fresh and delicious, and they were kid friendly as well. They don't need any condiments or sauces. They tasted so good on its own. You can use boneless breast, but boneless thighs gives you a juicier kebab. Try this recipe out and let me know how it goes. Crispy street style chicken pakoras. I don't know what will convince you to try this recipe out, but I'm hoping this video will. I love recipes that come together so easily with just the ingredients in your kitchen. This is one of them. To chicken, add salt, chili powder, ginger garlic paste, chopped onions, green chilies, curry leaves, coriander, gram flour, corn flour and give it all a good mix. Add a splash of hot oil and marinate it for at least 30 minutes. Try not to add a lot of water and keep it in a really thick consistency. The exact measurements of the masalas are given below in the description box. Don't forget to check it out. Drop each piece in hot oil and fry until golden brown and crispy. Spicy, crispy, flavorful and so aromatic. Takes you right back to the streets of India. I had to hurry up and arrange them on a plate for a picture. That's how fast they were gone. With a cup of chai, these are unbeatable. Try this recipe out and let me know how it goes. Stop right there. You're not about to miss this delicious recipe, so save it right now. Restaurant style ginger chicken. I always film when I'm trying out new recipes, just in case they turn out to be really good, so I have something to post for you guys. And boy am I glad that I filmed this one. Such simple ingredients and very simple cooking method, but the flavor was extraordinary. Saute chicken with 1 chopped onion, ginger garlic paste until it starts to change color. Add salt, freshly chopped ginger, green chilies and just black pepper and red chili powder. Those are the only spices you'll need. Now cook them all together and let it fry really well. Add in 1 chopped tomato, about 1.5 cups of yogurt. Mix them and let it all bubble away until the oil starts oozing on top. That's when you know your gravy is going to be delicious. Once the gravy is well cooked, add about 1/4 cup of cream. Let it all cook together. Garnish with kasuri methi, coriander, fresh ginger, green chilies, and you're done. You've got to try this recipe out and let me know how it goes. This Hyderabadi dum chicken was one of the first dishes that I made as a newly married. Keep in mind, I did not even know how to boil water, but this one blew everyone's mind off. Such a simple recipe. All it takes is marinating chicken in a bunch of spices, yogurt, coconut cashew paste, some fried onions and leaving it for as long as you can. It doesn't require much effort even as a basic chicken gravy, but tastes like you've spent hours in the kitchen. Just heat up a pan with oil, whole garam masala, and add your chicken on very low flame and give it a good 15 to 30 minutes to completely cook through and let the oil ooze out on top. Adjust the consistency by adding water, adjust your seasoning, and that's it. Your gravy is done. That's how simple it is. It goes so well with parotas, chapatis, ghee rice, you name it. Next time, try this recipe out and let me know how it goes.
Assalamu alaikum. If you want to make these crispy potato cutlets, then keep watching. Start by grating or mashing your potatoes and add onions, spring onions, green chilies, coriander, mint, breadcrumbs, and some spices. Mix everything really well and make cutlets according to your size preference, and then coat in the egg and breadcrumbs. At this point, you can freeze them or go ahead and fry them. I am going to shallow fry them on medium heat, and once they're done, serve them hot with ketchup, and yeah, your perfect evening snack is ready to enjoy.